We have a responsibility to our community and to our people and to the citizens of this city to stand out and shout racism when we see it.
Dudley speaks for me. Dudley speaks for me. Dudley speaks for me.
People who stand up in the face of adversity and who speak out when no one else is speaking out. He was the voice for the voiceless. Dudley Laws. He had a very commanding and compelling presence. He would not just speak with vigor, but he would speak from that emotive standpoint where people could really understand, feel what he was saying.
One cannot be totally satisfied until you see changes on the streets, changes within the courts, changes in institutions.
And he was able to speak with urgency, he was able to speak with clarity about what should be done. Hence the reason why he became appointed the spokesperson and the face of the Black Action Defense Committee. The organization was initially founded in August of 1988, following the spate of killings after the shooting death of Lester Donaldson by police officers. There were conversations around what needs to be done throughout Toronto and address what was seen as police violence against members of the Black community. And through the formation of the Black Action Defense Committee, address something deeply, deeply affecting Torontonians, African Canadians, and many people of color.
We have come a long way. We have protested long and hard against this racist, brutal, murderous police force.
How can we be like Dudley? How can we be so fearless? He would stand in front of the police headquarters and he would have his bullhorn. How can we be as fearless as that? He told us that you don't have to be a politician. You don't have to be president or pope to change this world.
We have a responsibility to our community and to our people and to the citizens of this city to stand out and shout racism when we see it.
Dudley speaks for me. Dudley speaks for me.
The Dudley Laws Speaks for Me campaign started because he dared to speak out against the police killings on behalf of members of the community, and so as such, the price that he paid was to be fined, to be arrested, to be maligned, to be defamed in both the media and within the Black community.
My job working with him was really to keep him out of jail. 5 times he went to jail. Now, was he a criminal? No.
2 people getting in the vehicle.
The RCMP, Toronto Police Services, and the U.S. Border Services got together to entrap him in smuggling people across the border. That was not the case. This also was in tandem with the Toronto Police Association, who launched a lawsuit against him in 1991 when he said that the Toronto Police were the most brutal,
This racist, brutal, murderous police force
in North America. And so out of that came an outpouring from the Black community initially and the larger community thereafter saying, Dudley Laws speaks for me because he has a right to freedom of speech. He has a right to voice his opinion, whether one likes it or not.
I would like to thank my community and the people who support me through this ordeal. As far as the allegations are concerned, it will come out in court and people will see that the charges that have been laid against me are false.
He was later exonerated from all charges. It is often misconstrued that Mr. Laws, as the sole spokesperson of the organization, just was the mouthpiece. There were many hours of debates around what should be done, what the key messages should be, whether press conferences should be called. There was a whole lot of strategic planning and visioning around the work of the Black Action Defense Committee. And so the impact that he made was a collective one.
If the people do not have confidence in the police, it doesn't matter if you put another 1,000 police officers out there, they will not get involved within the process.
Not everyone was very happy with what the Black Action Defense Committee did at the time, but the gains are very evident today as a result of that. We see far less shootings at the hands of the police than we'd seen 20 years ago. And so because of the work that they did to spearhead changes in policing, changes in the criminal justice system, looking at the Youth Offender Act, all of those things have been the precursors to what we see today. So the work needs to continue to happen. Upon his deathbed, Mr. Laws said that he did not want to see the organization fade into the woodwork, and that he wanted to ensure that young people had a very strong voice and a very strong support base. And the message is that indeed our lives matter, and we need to see ourselves as important, viable, responsible citizens to ensure that change occurs all the time. Not some of the time, but all of the time.
One cannot be totally satisfied until you see changes on the streets, changes within the courts, changes in institutions.
But we have come a long way. We have protested long and hard against this racist, brutal, murderous police force.